Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Codoucher here. Welcome back to the Mindcrack server for your Wednesday. Oh, the decisions we have to make today. I can't decide what we're gonna do with the roof of the cone abode, and I actually spent quite a bit of time looking through blocks and going over ideas and really a lot more in-depth than my usual planning for builds. I'm more of a builder by chance, I guess. You know, I just kind of I work a little bit more whim. I have an idea, a general theme, and then I just let the inspiration flow, and that's how a build comes together. But the roof of the cone abode is proving to be not quite so easy. So we've got some options up there. Also, I've been working on collecting some acacia. These trees, I tell you, these trees, they grow like weeds. Not only do they grow like weeds, but they multiply. I went to the savannah, I got 2 saplings. One of them I planted over there at the end of the path that replaced the tree that got chopped down by... Oh, hello again, tree. See? They're crazy. One of them replaced the tree that got chopped down by maybe not Brian. I don't know. That investigation is still underway. And then the other one I planted over here, and that was the only 2 saplings that I had. You're really proving my point here, Acacias. You're really proving my point. So, yeah, I've been spending a little time gathering some of this. I really do enjoy using the acacia logs and the planks. They're just neat colors. They're neat. And just take a guess as to how many saplings that's turned into. Alright, we're already up to 23, and these 2 haven't even decayed yet. There's 24. They're crazy. They just multiply like weeds. So, I guess that's a nice part of working with these, which is good because you don't get a lot of wood out of them. It's even worse than birch and oak, really. You get very few logs per tree. But currently, I think I have more than a stack. Yeah, I've now got 64 and 25, so we're doing pretty good for our acacia logs. And we're going to need those acacia logs because I've decided to keep the orange columns, the orange beams is the word I was looking for, in the roof. I am going to place another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, here, all the way across, and then in theory, that should leave 4 to the end. Now this one's going to be a long one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, everything's good there. So that will be that. And through a bit of collaborative effort with, I believe, Fictitious, I believe, is who sent me a image on Twitter of an idea on what to do for the middle. And I've had a little bit of my own take on that as well. I think I've got a ceiling pattern that I like now. I think I've got something to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. I have decided on a shape for the roof. So it's going to be peaked. Another good, batch of comments and advice was on the shape of the roof. And because it is snowy up here, it makes sense to have a peaked roof instead of a flat roof. I haven't gone for a steep peak like, stairs. Stairs would take that roof really high. This would be a very tall roof because it's a pretty wide house. So I've not gone for that. I've gone for the other option, the slab peak. You could do flatter if we did a run of 2 of these, and I considered even doing like stair slab to go in between these 2. But I think I've 100% decided on this pitch for the roof, and it's going to go all the way up to the middle point, which will be here. Let me just place that there so I remember that. And then go up to here and come back down. And then over here, rather than it gabling off in the other direction, what I'm going to do is a wedged roof on this side. So it will be a flat wall right here overlooking this side. So we'll have a nice, I want to do like a big window right here. So this will be a second story that will be, you know, usable space. You can see how tall the roof is. So, I mean, I have a wall right here, and then that's plenty of room. And hopefully what I can do is set up like the bedroom area right here so that we have a nice view of what I think is the sunrise or the sunset. It'll be the sunset on this side. Well, that works out well because I very rarely see sunrises, but I pretty often see sunsets. That works in both ways, real life and in video game. Oops, I done fell. No damage though. Okay, so the cobble on the outside. Yes, the cobble is on the outside because that is where I'm going to put the windows. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock through these right now. I'm gonna go for small windows on the bottom floor. So they're gonna be just 2 wide, or 3 wide in this case, but not too tall because we have an even number basically. No, sorry, we have an odd number, right? Because it's 3, I can't have a 2 tall window. If it were 4, we could have a 2 tall window, right? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe my brain just completely stopped and froze trying to think about that. Here we go. That's going to be all the windows. This side here, I haven't decided on if I'm going to have windows at all yet. I will need to figure out that. We may do, because I wanted to have a view of the lava fall over there. What we may end up doing is a little bit of a dormer setup on this side of the pitch, so that the second story has a view over here, but the first story would not, because honestly, there's not much to look at from over here. Okay, let's go grab some glass and fill in them windows. Gotta fill in the windows. Alright, so that's what we'll look like from the inside. Plenty of window space, even if we don't have windows on that side. And that wall will probably be taken up. I have no real idea as to what the layout of the first floor is going to be yet. Oh, I had the glass on me the whole time. But I want to make some panes. Apparently it's not that, it's this. Is 16 enough? Maybe. Let's do 32. You haven't really decided what the interior is going to look like. All I know is what the exterior looks like. I'm putting in the glass. I have not fully decided if I'm keeping the gray concrete there or if that's going to change in the future, or if I'm going to do just like an interior skin on this side. I really don't know. Part of me wants to leave the back wall gray and just get rid of the bits of gray that poke through on the sides. We'll see though. We shall see. Alright, let's get the windows in place. Yes. And yes. And now let's work on this ceiling design. The ceiling design is pretty cool. I think. If I can remember. No, all the trees grew. If I can remember how exactly it went. I know I need that. I know I need that. I think I have those on me. Let's get rid of some of the other miscellaneous stuff we won't be using right now. Okay. And then grab all the dark oak. Let's make those into planks. And then these into slabs. And these into stairs. For the most part. Alright, that should be plenty to get us started. And then these are the expensive guys. These trapdoors are pricey. We gotta figure out what's going on with the economy that our trapdoors are so expensive. Okay, so here is the design. It's kind of similar to something we experimented with on the last episode, but a little bit of a change. There we go, and then slabs on these. So that looks like a little bit of, I believe, if I remember my construction naming conventions, this is referred to as dental work or dental detailing in the interior sense, in the trim sense. Oops. And then these, how am I going to place these? Probably like that to be easier. These will fill up the inside, so I need a whole bunch of those, and those are super pricey. So I may need to cut down more of those dark oak trees. But I'm doing pretty good on those too. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna do all of these into trapdoors, because that's only what, 20? I mean, what happens to the rest of that log? Are we taking like one ring of the log out, cutting it out, and discarding the rest? What happens there? I think it's expensive only because the recipe was like predetermined. That's what made that expensive. I don't think it was intentionally expensive. But boy, did that look cool. That looks highly detailed. Thank you, Frictitious, for the idea to use the dark oak trapdoors, because those have cool detail. The stairs give it a cool detail. That is a really cool ceiling. And now the areas in between the cool orange beams look as interesting as the orange beams. So I am very pleased with that. I'm really, really impressed with how that looks. But now I've got to make a bunch more of those trapdoors. I think the stairs and the slabs are going to be pretty cheap, so at least that's not too bad. I really wasn't sure if I wanted to use so much dark oak, but I ended up really liking it. So it worked out. Also, the house no longer looks like, as was determined on the last episode, an ice cream sandwich. Or at least it looks less like one now that we have some roof going in, some windows. But that was a nice observation. Let's see, anything else that I've decided? Whichever of these four I decide on, if it ends up being one of these four, I'm going to use that material for the porch as well. I'm not going to give my personal vote. I was about to say which one I'm leaning towards, but I think I'm going to leave that open so that I can go through the comments and get a good gauge on what everybody's opinions are before I interject my own, because that tends to sway people's opinions. All right, well, that's kind of where we stand on the build. I'm gonna go sleep off the night, and then we're gonna dive into some serious-ish topics, or maybe not serious-ish, but some conversation. All right, here we go. Buckle your pants. Things are about to get weird. So, here's a thing. A trend, if you will, that I've definitely picked up on through the internet and YouTube comments and things like that in general. And it's actually given me a little bit of, I would say, inspiration on the kind of person I want to be and the kind of content I want to make. And that is based around controversy and argument and not even just argument, but just attention. I've talked about this in multiple episodes, but attention via controversy rather than attention via, positivity or just interaction. There's certain topics in the world and in the internet, the old internet sphere, that are key things that you can say that will instantly get the attention of those around you. And I am super guilty myself of falling into those traps. And they're just topics that they're important for sure, and they're topics that are very
prominent in our society and issues that you know, need to be worked out and whatnot. They're not serious and you know, don't need to be talked about. But I think a lot of these topics get brought up more for attention than effort. So it's not as though people are actually interested in things. The only thing they're interested in is, if I bring this up, I know I can get people to pay attention to me. And that effect really negatively affects our interaction on a day-to-day basis. We seem to be incapable of just interacting with each other as normal human beings anymore. We can't just... Or maybe, oh, my brain just put together more pieces of this puzzle. It's like we interact so much more than we used to, that now we interact so much, we don't have enough to actually fill the gaps in there, do we? We are kind of stuck with, you know, interacting with each other on a pretty frequent basis, more so than maybe we have things to talk about. So that means that we kind of seem to default to things that you know, are very popular to be talked about, or very commonly argued about and rant about and things like that. So those are just easy conversations to have. Nothing is ever really said, or no breakthroughs are made, but a conversation, quote unquote, was had. And I don't particularly like the way it looks from the top, but we'll see what we can do with this in the future. But yeah, this kind of stems from many conversations. Like this stems from conversations I have with, you know, acquaintances, old coworkers, people on Facebook, and it got into my head because there was a NASCAR Heat video I did where I kind of made a passing joke-ish reference to a truck that had a hashtag slogan on it that was something politically based.
Oh no, you did not just bring up politics.
I noticed that that video gained the attention of people who have never, ever commented on my videos, and the attention was instantly towards, oh, you're trying to pick a fight, aren't you? Versus I really, honestly, truly was not. There was zero intention of that, and everybody that's watching this video knows that for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that the people that watch this series, or maybe even any other, know where I stood on all of that stuff, and that it was nothing more than just kind of a passing reference. I regret making it because that's not the kind of content I want to make. It's not that things like that don't need to be discussed, but that's not the place, and I'm not going to, in that kind of medium or media, make any great impact on the world, or you know, have a good debate or discussion with anybody on that subject in that format. That's not the place, it's not the time. So it really, partially, it wasn't the time nor the place, and I shouldn't have even made a reference to it. But the flip side of that is that if we weren't, as a society, so obsessed with anything that could be considered controversial, then things like that would be more readily available to be joked about. Like, we could be lighthearted about things on occasion, versus I feel like it's against the rules currently to be lighthearted about anything. You are serious all the time now. Everything you say is serious business. I think I'm gonna run out of dark oak here. And that's a tough way to live our lives, isn't it? That's really stressful. That's very stressful. Whether
whether or not you agree with my stand on... stand. I didn't even realize what I did there. Whether you agree with my stance on that or not, the intentions there were not to bring that up as a conversation. And the comments that I got were anything that was, you know, from these people that I've never heard from before. Are these not gonna grow here? Let's see if they're just not gonna grow right there. Yeah, they just, based off of that one very kind of brief little half-joking snide remark, basically went into like paragraphs of, oh, so this is your stance on this? Here, let me go in depth into me telling you everything that you think is wrong. Whoa! I wasn't ready for this, and this isn't the place or the time. This isn't what we should be doing here. I guess that's the biggest thing, is there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place for you know, good, heavy discussion. There absolutely is a time and a place. But we've got to learn as a people when that time is, because now people are so, including me on many occasions, are so turned away and turned off from talking about anything quote-unquote political or serious, that just the mere thought of it, even in the right place or right time, you know, gives us a bad disposition. And that's because, in my opinion, we're so bad at timing things like that. We're so bad at having the time and a place to have our serious discussions. That's the effect of what I noticed through that little comment espigade thing. Espigade? Is that a word? That's not a word. Where'd that word even come from, Cone? And just my general interactions, mostly with acquaintances and whatnot through social media and things of that nature. Wow, I still need more. And the effects of that. I mean, it's a serious-ish topic, and I don't think I'm saying anything groundbreaking or earth-shattering there. I don't think that's anything that we haven't all thought, and I have no idea how we can change, how we can fix that. But basically, I in the future am going to try to do better to not default to those things, to not go for the easy. And that's why I have this series, basically. That's what this series is for. I go for the hard topics because I feel like this is a medium. Even though it's weird, it's a Minecraft Let's Play. Sure, that might be weird for some people to understand that this is actually a serious series, but I feel like this is a place where there's already an expectation and an understanding, I think, between me and you, the viewers, that this is where kind of my more serious conversation is. And it's very much so pointed. Like, I feel like I have a clear enough mind and an open enough place, an open enough air to speak, you know, in full sentences and in full expressed thoughts here. So yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at, is I'm just going to try and do better at not diving into the well of controversy for attention, because I'm sure if I did, I could, you know, be a bigger channel and more successful, yay, all that bullshit. But that doesn't interest me. That's not the society I want to be in, so I'm gonna try not to create that society. That was my deep thought for the last couple days. It's not that I'm like scared to talk about politics, or I just don't want to offend people and things like that. It's more that I want to help us move into an area where we have a better understanding of time and place, and where the correct place and time for such discussions are, so that we can have those discussions, those very important discussions,
and work them out together, because that's what we need to do. Okay? Okay. Bit of a... Oh, ouch. Stuck my toe. Bit of a weird topic, I'm sure. And I don't know that I've perfectly executed my thoughts on it, but that's kind of my midweek rabble. Now, I'm sure the defense of that will be, and I'm sure that this topic being brought up at all will bring up defense, is you should be able to talk about whatever you want to talk about whenever you want. And, you know, you should be able to make the jokes you want to make, and you should be able to handle the repercussions of making those, you know, remarks or anything like that. Or you got to be thick-skinned to be on the internet. That's just not me. That's not the life that I want to lead. That's not the society I want to be in, so I don't want to make that society. I think that is the society some people want to be in, but not this Cone Dodger. So that's my rebuttal to the possible future defense of that topic. I went over to the guano farm area, and I used a skeleton. Did I say that right? Skeleton. Did I just... Am I smelling toast? The skeleton farm at the guano base, and I got some bones so that I had enough bone meal to make the rest of these HVAC vents, I think. We'll see. So let's go ahead and place these in. I'm not 100% sure at this point whether this is where these are going to be, but I was tired of seeing this cobblestone in the basement. I wanted to more completely finish out the basement build. I can move these around in the future. Need be. Oh, is this... I think I'm going to do it like that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Is that what I did down here? No, I didn't. I did it straight down. Okay, well then that's what I'll do here. Boop. And then I put an iron trapdoor there. That's what I did. It's like a vent for the basement. Got it. Yeah, you see the iron only takes 4, but the wood takes 6. There's a bit of a discrepancy in cost there. Boop. Nice, nice. All right, well the basement is set for everything. The only other things I'm going to put in here is chests. We're going to put a ton of storage down here in the future. We do, however, need some kind of staircase, because sand is probably not super effective. I don't know that I'm even going to keep it right here, though. Let me think about this. The front door is approximately here. So to have the basement entry over here blocks the wall if we want to do future things there. But I think what I'm going to do is actually have this area be... I guess I'm kind of thinking about the interior design of the house now. Well, here, let me place these and just see. Yeah, I figured there was probably head clearance issues there. So it's going to be a bit of a turny dealio. Okay. So that would get us out. Oh, no, because it needs to be... See, I want it to be as low impact as possible. That really doesn't take up a lot of space right now, which is nice. So I'd rather not even get rid of another one, but it seems like I would need to. Seems like I would need to do that. And if I did this one, how would that work? You know, that ain't too bad. And it does kind of lead you the right way that way. So we don't have a huge opening up above. Opening. And it does kind of lead you down. But I think what I would want to do is put some kind of block there. What if we just line it in dark oak? We might be getting too overboard on the dark oak at this point. At some juncture, it's gonna start to look a little gaudy, even. All right, so let's do something like that. Something like this, maybe. I just want it to look like, you know, it's built in there. I don't know if I really like these so much, though.
Okay, we can walk off the edge of that then. What if I did some oak fences there? I'm gonna waste dark oak doing this, but I think we've pretty much done all of the dark oak main bits up to this point. What would one fence do there? Oh, that looks real nice. Not there, but there. That looks really nice. That does look very much so like I wanted it to look. Okay, okay. And then it doesn't take up much space. I was thinking of having like a little door here. That might be something for the future. Keep this in mind as an area that we might use for a future expansion, or like secret area that takes us even down further into the ground, or maybe as like an offshoot to take us out into the cliffside somehow, like a basement access. That's an idea for the future. That looks good. I'm happy with that. It's all the same color block, and I think that's fine because it means that from up here it doesn't look very obnoxious. So it doesn't tarnish the look from upstairs. But boy, the ceiling looks amazing. I am very happy with that. The next big decisions, other than the roof, is to eat something. The next big decisions come from the outside. I think once the roof is on there, I'll have a better idea as to what I'm going to do with the walls, because as of now, they are very, very plain, very simple. Would love for more detail on the walls, but I won't really know how I'm going to do that until the roof's in place. So the roof's going to overhang by one here. Do I have any? I have oak slabs on me. Is that right? Yeah. Is it? Not technically. No, it would be here. Yeah. So it's going to overhang one on this side, and then it will be flat up to like right here, and there'll be a little bit of a triangle right here that's open. So this whole area, I really want to be a big glass window, and I'm hoping it's going to be big enough that I can do some kind of like stained glass design in it, because that would be really cool. So that's going to give the front of the house more accent, but the outside still needs something. It's just too plain as of now. And some of the things I've been thinking about are, you know, detail elements like shutters and things like that, but also maybe some quasi-structural stuff on the outside too. So I guess I'll wait until tomorrow to put the roof in, or not tomorrow, Friday, to put the roof in. And once we put the roof in, we're going to have to make some exterior design decisions. But I think that's probably a good stopping point for the day. Very happy about the ceiling. That has come out amazing. Very, very cool design. Very happy with that. And still excited about this project. This is peak Minecraft for me. Nothing makes me happier than stuff like this. So really enjoy this project in this series. And we've made it 10 days with no incidents. Is 10 a new record? I think 10 might be a new record. I don't remember what our previous record was. Maybe I should look that up. But either way, that will do it for today. Thank you as always for watching. Curious to hear your thoughts on today's subjects and your votes, I guess. Not really votes, but just your opinions on the roof. And we'll make that decision Friday. And I will see you then.